guys, it's your friendly neighborhood Mud here, and this is a Federation match against Valkyrie. And he leads off with the Deoxy Speed, and I lead off with the Shaman Skyform. So he's predicting me to be Scarfed, like most Shaman Skyform leads are, but I'm actually not, I'm a Subseeder. So that's great for me, because he switches out and goes into a Registeel, and I'm able to set up a Leech Seed on that thing. So that thing basically counters any Shaman Skyform, and even like a Specs Earth Power will do jack shit to it. So I'll keep subseeding, trying to stall that thing out because it's going to be annoying. And he sets up Stealth Rock, so I get a free sub, so I can Air Slash and hopefully flinch so I can keep my substitute, but he doesn't. He gets his Ice Punch off, and that will break the sub. So here I'll just continue to set up some substitutes just in case, you know, he tries to do something else, Thunder Wave, Predictive Switch, or anything. And I set up another substitute while he goes back out to Deoxy Speed. So he sets up a light screen, and I'll Seed Flare because I was predicting a taunt right there. So Seed Flare does a decent amount of damage, and I get the special defense drop, 80% obviously will happen. So he'll set up a Spikes, and I'll set up a Leech Seed, and I'm not fearing the taunt at this point, but then next turn he decides to taunt me. So I Seed Flare again, and even with the light screen, with -2 special defense, it will knock that thing out. So then he goes out to Mewtwo, and he Calm Minds, and I'll Seed Flare just to get the special defense drop. And it doesn't do much at all, but I do get the special defense drop, so that light screen is null and void here. So he breaks my substitute with Shadow Ball, so I know that he has Aura Sphere and Shadow Ball. If he has Shadow Ball, it's pretty obvious he has Aura Sphere to have the perfect coverage in Ubers. And I know that I can live another Shadow Ball. I know that I can live another Shadow Ball and set up a Leech Seed. So I do get the Leech Seed up. And from this point of HP, I know I can live another Shadow Ball, but I'm not going to go for it. I'm going to go straight out to Dialga, so I can set up some Stealth Rocks, and Shadow Ball doesn't do much to it at all, considering it's a bulky Dialga. So I get some Leech Seed back, and I get health from my leftovers. So I know that he has Aura Sphere, and I know that the Aura Sphere won't kill me off, so I can use this turn to set up Stealth Rocks. So that's really good for me. And I know he's going to Aura Sphere another time. I know he's going to use Aura Sphere again, so I'll go out to Giratina Origin Form, because obviously it doesn't affect it, so he's going to try to hit me with a Shadow Ball, and I'm like, lol, 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 lol. He doesn't know that I have priority, and I hit it with a Shadow Sneak, and that will knock it out. So down goes Mewtwo. And now he goes out to his Dialga, and I go out to Lugia because I know that after seeing the leftovers on this thing, just seeing the bulk up makes it, duh, obviously it's a bulk upper. If you see bulk up, it's stupid. So I'm going to set up a light screen before I roar him out because I know he's going to Outrage this turn. Either Outrage or bulk up, either way I'll live both. So I see how much damage +1 Outrage does, and it does about 1/4, so I can roost off the damage, and he'll keep on outraging. So that's really good for me, and I'll keep on roosting. Hopefully he doesn't crit. So he outrages once more, and does still around 1/4. It's really good for me, and he gets confused here, and he gets up another bulk up, while I Whirlwind him away, because I really don't want that thing setting up on me. So he goes out to his Lugia of his own, and I don't know, I was fearing the Toxic. I could have gone out to my Dialga to not be affected by the Toxic, but I just didn't want to risk it. So now my light screen wears off, and I see how much Ice Beam does because I do have a decent amount of special attack investment on this Lugia, and it does a decent amount of damage, but he decides to roost off his damage, and I'll just Whirlwind him away to rack up Stealth Rock damage. And now he goes out to Groudon. Well, he gets forced out to Groudon, and I'll just Ice Beam with Lugia because I know it'll do around half if it's an attacker like CB, but he's a Rock Polisher, so I'm like, fuck, because I know that thing can destroy my team. And I was figuring I could live a Life Orb Stone Edge, but for some reason I don't, probably underestimating Groudon. And I do die, so now I go out to Deoxy's Defense Form, and I'm pretty sure I can live an Earthquake, and with enough health that will allow me to recover off all the damage so I can life orb stall that thing. So I do recover, and I get up around 250 HP, 233 actually, and I don't know why he's Stone Edged here. Either way, it didn't do much. Anyway, maybe he was fishing for a critical hit, or I don't know, and I'm able to recover off the damage. So he Earthquakes again because it was doing obvious amounts more than Stone Edge. And I'll just continue to life orb stall that thing, unless he gets a critical hit on anything besides Stone Edge. So he'll Earthquake again, fishing for crits, and I'll recover once more, and I know that he'll die from another turn of life orb damage, and here he just decides to go for the Stone Edge, and I see my health going down and down and down, and he does get a crit, but I live it luckily, and I recover off most of the damage. So Deoxy's defense form got out of that fight just with a decent amount of health left. So now he goes out to Dialga, and this is one of the times I wish I had Taunt on this thing, but I don't. So I look to be pretty much screwed if I let that thing set up, and I go out to Mewtwo because I know I can live 1+1 Outrage, and I'll do a respectable amount with Aura Sphere. So I taunted just in case he wanted to do something. So he outrages, which is good for him. He was predicting the obvious taunt because he's, yeah. So now I'm forced to Aura Sphere, and it does, considering that thing is like calm, careful, max special defense, the Aura Sphere is a 3-hit KO. And he finishes off Mewtwo, and he's locked into Outrage, and I go out to Petunia, and I see that I have enough health to make a substitute, so I do that while he outrages, and he gets confused afterwards for the 3-turn Outrage. So I'm thinking I can stall out some more of his team with Shaman. And he's confused, so he switches out and goes out to Registeel while I set up Leech Seed, which is great for me because I know that after a Leech Seed and after the leftovers I can make another substitute, which I do end up doing if you see. So I have 107, I set up another substitute, live with 22, he Ice Punches, which will break the substitute, and the Sun is strong, and I'll get back the Leech Seed, and I'll get back the leftovers. So I see that I have enough health to make another substitute, just barely, and I live with 3, and he Ice Punches again to obviously break the substitute. It's just rinse, wash, repeat, and I know that I cannot live, I can't make another substitute after this round of recovery, so I'm going to go for the lucky Air Slash and hopefully flinch it. But he goes out to Lugia, and I have 69 HP, which is fucking win. So I don't want to set up a substitute because I know that it'll just break it with Ice Beam. So I'll try to flinch it, but I don't. And he'll obviously kill me off with an Ice Beam. And now we go out to the Master of Time, my Dialga, just basically as death fodder. Just allow him to kill me off with Ice Beam, because he was pretty much worthless then anyway. So I'm just letting my guys die there. And now I go out to my Giratina again, and he sets up a Toxic. And I'll Draco Meteor to hope for the kill. And it doesn't quite kill. And just in case this turn he wanted to Ice Beam or try to Roost Stall me, I'm going to Shadow Sneak because I'm slower, and that will knock out the Lugia. So Shadow Sneak is coming in handy this match a lot. So now he goes out to Dialga, and I know that thing is more special defense, and I'll just go for the Outrage. I'm boosted by the Grazius Orb, and I get a critical hit. Now, looking back, I really don't think that mattered all too much because he would have died to another one even after the +1 defense. So yeah, so basically the Registeel would have been left with that much HP right now had I not critted the Dialga. So looking at my Deoxy's defense form, I would have had to knock off stall that thing off, and that would have just ended up being really, really boring. So I'm able to finish off with 2 Outrages, and I win 2-0. Good game, Valkyrie. Kind of ironic how you got beat by yourself. So good game, better luck next time, and I'll see all you guys later. Bye!